Hello, my name is Bridgen, and you are listening to Mood Swings by Robert Luckington.
How you doing? How's everybody going? You're listening to Mood Swings by Robert Luckington, and this is episode 11. So, hey, what did you want to talk about today? We could talk about some stuff. You want to talk about surfboards? I can talk about surfboards. You want to talk about music production software? I'll definitely talk about that too. So, one of the programs that I like to use is called Sony Media Software's Acid Pro. It's a audio production program for PC, not really for Mac, but when I first started doing audio recording and things like that, I used Acid Pro, and I really liked it. You know, it was fairly easy to use, and had all the different plugins that you could use for different audio sounds, and all the VSTs and stuff like that they use to manipulate the sound to create different types of things like, fuzz and wah and all that other stuff. Of course, they had those plugins as well in the menu system. All you had to do was just figure out where you wanted to put it. All the music that I did with the Ramjet Rookies was done with Acid Pro, and that was when it was a company called SoundForge, and it turned out that Sony Media Software, or Sony anyway, bought it out and renamed it the Sony Media Software's audio package thing, whatever they were doing with it. But they added a bunch of stuff and made it interesting and everything, but then it kind of got a little complicated for me, and there's different things that you can download, like different sound waves and whatever, to make your your music sound really well, and the way that you want it to, anyway, to make it a custom sound. So now I've since bought an Apple Macintosh, or a MacBook Pro, and I carry that with me wherever I go. So whenever I want to do a podcast like this, or if I want to do some recording with whatever, I have the ability to do that now. I've bought a really nice set of drums and a really nice set of cymbals, and interesting thing about the drums is that they have a way for me to get electronic drum sounds out of it. So I have a way of being able to record that stuff to the MacBook, and I'm excited about that. I really want to get that started. Hopefully soon Scott Goldberg and I can start working on our little band project thing that we were talking about doing, and that's a really big, huge goal that I want to work on, getting that together. What else? Just this summer is going to be, it's coming to the end of summer, actually. It's already July. We've got about another month or so before the kids are back in school and everything, but for me, I still have that opportunity to go and really just work on relaxing. I mean, everything's been so hectic these last few months. School is a real big, tough thing right now. I'm not doing so well in school. It's a lot more than I figured that it was going to be, and I knew it was going to be tough, but I didn't know it was going to be this tough. So, not only that's got me stressed out. The fact that I'm looking for better work, I mean, that's hard to come by. I guess I need to really evaluate my resume and get it to the point where it looks good, because right now, I mean, it looks good, but it's not getting me work. So I need to, like I said, reevaluate that and get it to where it looks even better, to where I can get a better job. So I'm not saying that I don't like my job. I just have been doing electronics for the last 22 years. I'd really like to get into something that's a little bit higher paying, a little bit better opportunity, because there's only so much that you can do in a day where you're just sitting down soldering all day. I've been writing on my screenplay. I'm up to 24 pages. Woohoo! And I'm kind of getting into some other ideas. Vince, if you're listening, I'd really like to work with you on a project. I've got an idea for something that you and I should collaborate on. I mean, if you're willing to do that. I mean, it could be a short, it could be, a feature, if depends on what you want to do. I mean, I could make it either way. So, private message me, Vince. I'd like to hear from you on that. So, anyway, but the current screenplay that I'm working on, it's called Shadows at Midnight. I've been working on it for the past 3 years. It's registered with the Writers Guild East, and it's only registered for a certain period of time, so I kind of wanted to be able to try and get it done and shopped if I could, but looks like that time is sort of getting shorter and shorter. I really can't come up with different ideas on dialogue and things like that. I know what I want. The outline's written, but the dialogue that sort of is the glue to the film, it's just, I'm not able to come up with the dialogue fast enough for me to really get this story done. So I'd like to try and get it done as soon as possible, but I'm not going to rush it. If I can't come up with anything that's good for dialogue or whatever, then it's just going to have to wait. I'll just have to I'll just have to re-register it for another 10 years or whatever, and get that out of the way so I can at least have more time to finish it. Or I can option it, if somebody's willing to take it as is, that's fine, I'm willing to work with somebody on it. I'm also willing to work with another writer. I'd worked with another person in the past that, for whatever reason, that didn't follow through, and, not saying the guy is a bad guy or anything, or whatever, but the ideas that he had were interesting enough. Something didn't click, so wasn't able to get that done. But if somebody else were to be willing to work with me, I'd definitely give 50-50 writing credit to whoever wants to work with me on it. So, if the script sells for, say a couple $1,000s or something like that, I'd be willing to split 50-50. So, hopefully it would sell for a lot more than that. I'm trying to make it so that it's it's a feature that would sell. I'm trying to make it, the type of product that would be a really good movie. I'm taking elements from different movies and just twisting it and making it my own. But, hopefully if I do get it sold, that it's sold for a lot more than just a couple $1,000s. But, and then it would be another thing to have it pretty much filmed by me or me involved with the filming and everything. Although I do admit that I ended up writing a particular character into the script for me. So if whoever buys it makes it into a film, I'd really love to be this particular part. Whoever that is, I will negotiate with you on that. But whatever happens. I'm not I'm not trying to push this thing away, because it's really kind of something that's special to me. I mean, it came out of a particular class that I was in, and just kind of went from there. So it is kind of special to me, and I'd like to at least hold on to it for as long as I can. Make it perfect. That way, if it does get sold, it gets sold for, scale, basically. I'm hoping for scale. What else? The summer, man, I swear to God, the heat is just killing me. With all the humidity, right now it's like 89 degrees, but the humidity is probably closer to that. Probably 89%, something. I don't know. I mean, sweating my butt off. Oh, God. I hope you guys aren't sweating where you're at. I mean, it makes it uncomfortable, but I got that to look forward to for another month or so. Who knows? It's like this is the time of the year when hurricanes start passing through New Jersey, New York. And the last hurricane that we had was Hurricane Sandy, and that just totally destroyed a lot. I mean, the whole coastline of New Jersey just basically got demolished. I mean, what was it? The down near, what was it? Bradley Beach? Can't remember the place where that show with the Jersey Shore was filmed there. That whole boardwalk was just destroyed. The hurricane went all the way up into in between like Manhattan and Long Island, and just destroyed a lot of homes and burnt up a whole area of, what was it, the Queens, Brooklyn section, the northwest end of Long Island. There was a neighborhood that just got burned down because there was so much going on with the hurricane that it destroyed power lines, and the power lines caused a fire. And yeah, that was crazy. That was, 3 years ago? 2 years ago? 3 years ago. That was right before I started work on Morai. Scotty Goldberg. So, yeah, that was the fall before I started work on that. So, the movie's out. You could go to the Facebook page at facebook.com/Morai feature film. That's spelled MOIRAI feature film. It's not actually a feature film. It got turned into a short due to budgetary reasons, but it's still a really good film. There's links on there to it. So, And you can see a movie poster that I designed that, with the help of Scott's fiance. She did the artwork. I just sort of did the movie poster of it. Added the characters, or not the characters, but the actors and the production company, and just made it look like a regular movie poster. So anyway, I got that going for me. It's a little something. But what else is going on? Really nothing's going on. Like I said earlier, my classes, I'm starting a new class in, I believe, September. So I'll have a few weeks off after this first class is over with, and it'll give me some time to recuperate, man. This particular class that I'm taking right now, it's a tough one. It deals with statistics, and I tell you, man, if you're not good with statistics, you better get somebody to help you, because the way statistics work, it's draining my brain. That's for dang sure. It's you have to run tests in order to say, okay, this many people would feel confident, as an example, or this many people don't feel confident. But these are all based on questions that you ask people, and then you run a statistics test in order to find out just exactly what percentage and whether or not that they were giving honest answers. There's a way to check for that by running a separate test, and then you combine tests to create one big test to do. I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you want, really. So, surveys, everybody knows a survey. Everybody is like, why do I have to do surveys? Well, a lot of companies, they want to know what's going on with their products or services, and they need customer input in order to figure out where to basically trim the fat, so to speak. That's like, if a product isn't working, they'll get that information, and then they'll do what they got to do. And statistically speaking, if you get, say, a couple hundred people, or even a couple thousand people that respond to that survey or questionnaire or whatever you want to call it, then you're going to get accurate information. But if you get like maybe 4 or 5 people, then that's not very accurate. And the statistics stuff, the research that I'm doing, it's mind-boggling. I was never good at math, never good at science. I'm just basically winging it, not doing so great. I'm in jeopardy of going into academic probation. I've never been on academic probation in my life, although in high school I didn't really do so well either. In fact, I ended up just like quitting school before the end of my senior year. But that was not because I was on academic probation or anything. I don't even think they even had academic probation in high school, but in college, man, it's big stuff. So don't want to get on that list. I'm even considering maybe transferring to a different school, but USC, it's a big name, and I want to be able to do the best that I can so that I can have at least them behind me and say, yeah, that I do have an education. I do have a master's degree from University of Southern California, because I need that. I need the validation. For whatever reason, that's on me, and not something that I expect people to understand, but it's what I want. I want to achieve something. So And I guess I probably bit off more than I could chew with USC, but I got to do the best that I can, and hopefully with this next class, I'll bring the grade up, keep it up. You know, because excuse me. When I was taking my undergraduate studies, I had a couple of classes where I had C's, you know, but nobody told me that I was on academic probation or anything, so it's just, I guess they expect you to do well, or they kick you out, really. I mean, that's all there is to it, the bottom line. So, just, you know, if I can say anything to anybody out there that's listening, you know, the one thing that I could say is just do your best at anything, whatever it is. You know, if you're a guitar player and you want to be a famous guitar player, just do your best to try and get as good as you can. I mean, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You just got to figure out something to replace that drive with. You know, I mean, maybe you can't be a guitar player in a rock and roll band, but you can be a really good dentist. Yeah, oh, speaking of dentists, yeah, I don't even want to talk about the guy from wherever he was at that killed the lion. Talk about current events and talk about asshole. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm not for organizations like PETA, but you know, because they have their own agendas and things like that. But still, I mean, I consider myself an animal rights activist. Animals have rights too, you know. I mean, yeah, okay, they go around and they kill people in the wild or whatever, but if you have to go from the United States to Zimbabwe to sport kill a lion who happens to be, you know, a very famous lion, you know, who in the hell are you? This guy ought to be shot himself, man. I mean, that's not cool at all. You know, and something needs to be done. This guy needs to go behind bars or whatever, tortured, or I don't know, something, you know, something needs to happen to this asshole. So, you know, it may not sound like, you know, it's important that we treat animals and people with respect. You know, we're not giving the respect that's due to a lot of things. And, you know, sometimes that really gets me down because I want things to succeed. You know, I want to see people doing better. I want to see this world change, you know. I guess this is where it comes to the mood swings end of my podcast here, because really, I mean, it's tough enough to deal with so many people that treat others with disrespect, but you know, if you just change your way a little bit, just a little bit, you know, the world could be a better place, man. Don't go shooting animals for sport, you know. Don't be getting into accidents on the highway just because you can. I mean, that's retarded. Pardon the language, but it's retarded. So, you got all these people that are in a hurry, but what are they doing? Where are they going? Nowhere. This whole aggressive lifestyle that people live, it's got to stop. Guns. You know, I mean, I don't have a problem with people owning guns. What I have a problem with is these knuckleheads that go out, steal guns, or even use guns that they already own, and kill people for no reason, man. I mean, it's retarded. aggression does not get you anywhere. As you can feel the tension in my voice from dealing with this traffic, man. I mean, God, New Jersey traffic sucks. Hate to say it. And I know that I'll probably get flamed by all my New Jersey friends and things like that, but you know, ease up. Life is a lot more happier when you don't have to deal with idiots that don't know how to drive. So, and I'm done ranting. Not gonna do me any good ranting. I'm just probably delete this anyway. Delete this section anyway. So, anyway, looking forward to the fall, the weather, you know, turning colder. Not colder, but just cooler anyway. And, you know, hopefully this winter will be mild, although probably won't be. I have a feeling that it's going to be like dumping tons and tons of snow like it did last year. Last year, man, Boston got a crap ton of snow, and you know that was amazing. And the Northwest, where I'm from, you know, Oregon and Washington, it had probably one of the warmest winters on record. But out here in the East, man, it just like got really, really cold, really snowy. So maybe, hopefully, we can have a milder winter this year in New Jersey. So I don't know. I mean, just looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in the future. That's all I'm looking forward to. Everything's good. You know, I'm somewhat happy. I mean, I could be happier, but then it's all related to me and how I feel about the stuff that I do. I'm just happy to be able to do this podcast or to play music or act. By the way, if you know of any roles, let me know. I've been kind of without a role since the ending of the Morai film ended. So I'm out there, I'm pushing myself for whatever work is available. Not getting any response though, so love to secure a role or two. That'd be great. Something that might be, you know, put in the movie theaters or even on TV. I don't care. I mean, even if it's another short, get me on film. So, anyway, I'm done ranting this time. Sorry it was a big rant, but, you know, that's what this podcast is all about. So, it's called Mood Swings by Robert Leckington. So, until next time, you guys, thanks for listening to me this time. And hope that you listen more in the future. Appreciate the people that do listen. You know, if you can tell a friend, you know, have them listen in, that'd be great. If you have a product you want to push, I can help you with that. Send me a message at robertleckington@gmail.com and I'll get back to you. So, until then, I'll talk to you later. Bye now.